tournament so far, and honestly, I wouldn't want to be trailing in the second half of the table if I can avoid it. So looking at this, we're already seeing some similar patterns here. I think Arctic Gaming and Infinity Esports starting to go for those very same and similar comfortable spots, that for them, Illuminate, again, no fear. Going forward, the center of the map here is going to be joined by the Vietnamese and Indonesian squads of Flash and Drenex.
Well, pretty much consistent drops coming in from Flash as they head in towards Brasilia. There's a lot of all these Firefox that they can actually cut across with if they were to ever get themselves into danger, unless if somebody else have to get already intact. Ninja holding on to that P90 spots out. Michael coming from across. The Samurais have something to fear as they only got a couple pan, but wow, Nastro possibly will be actually pulling the trigger to actually trade back Infinity right here, slowly finding themselves a little bit of that empty region to cut across that quarry. Almost, we do see a little bit of that standstill. I think Michael does know that he's right up above, and Ninja is just waiting for him to make the next move.
Michael just stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, as he does have Nawab Zadeh who's just going to be hanging out there, but they are slowly withdrawing from the Marble Works side. They are currently split up here, but they do want to try and get into the later stages and avoid a repeat of what happened in game number 3. But for the most part, they should be able to navigate their way across. Infinity YT still going to be in close proximity as well, though Ninja is going to be a little bit more spread out. But I think for the most part here, everyone is kind of playing it safe. But Goddess is actually the most spread out team for the time being. Now, they were dropping very close to Corinthians as well in the early stages, but now they've sort of settled into their own spot and just trying to get a little bit more of a foothold in game number 4.
Game number 4 here, we're seeing a little bit of a well-spread action. Though we talk about the central zone a whole lot, Illuminate here, of course, we'll have that sort of a 50-50 in terms of that first phase of that safe zone appearing up upon them. So they do have a lot of options. Now we do see the members of Flash. They are right now on top of that hill, so they can actually take control of that sort of vantage point for the time being. Well, from that sort of campsite, I'm pretty curious as to why none of all these teams actually opt to slowly rotate across from there, because there's a lot of all these scattered loot for themselves as well. But looking at towards the northern end, we might just see a little bit of that fight breaking out from Moat House.
And Spornaya are going to be looting up here, but they're already under fire here from Samurai. So they're taking some shots against Puck Trail here. And it's going to be a little bit unfortunate here for the kind of damage that he's taking. But Delta is actually going to be the furthest player forward here. There's going to be some backup coming from the Moat House side of things. But not really a fight I feel that Samurai needs to take at this point in time. They can afford to just drop off, and quite rightly, Delta is going to be withdrawing here and see if they can get a little bit more of breathing room from the rest of Spornaya, who are very cohesive in their early stages of the game.
Well, I definitely would say that cohesiveness does really help them in the long run. And now, again, Samurai here, Alex 18, of course, opting for some of all these standard equipments. Well, I do love all these skins coming out, and well, there's a lot of sought after glowing weapons out there. Well, you gotta spend a whole lot of money to actually grab some of these if you guys are lucky enough. Now, heading into that tower here, it's gonna be Delta having a pretty much a widespread, but I would say whoever's on the south end is gonna have a little bit of trouble, but Infinity Mobiles here is probably the team who is furthest away.
Yeah, from the looks of it, though, I think with most of the playing area going to be not over too much of the rivers that we do see in Purgatory quite a lot. There should be a lot of avenues for those rotations to get in quite safely. And we're already seeing those teams that are already inside the zone just continue to move a little bit further north. They want to try and avoid all these other teams coming in late in the zone, but now we do have Loud here, going to be very close to Goddess. Goddess is actually continuing to move a little bit towards the lumber mill side here. And Loud just trying to time a little bit here, but now it does look like Arctic Gaming here is going to be under fire already, taking one knock as Spornaya starting to show their dominance on this northern side of the circle.
Well, this is definitely one thing that we didn't expect happening from the top side of the hill, and Mecha's just trying to run for his life. CHR will draw first blood as Samaro, man of the match in the first round, will be able to secure the kill upon Vega.
And this Arctic Gaming here, not getting a fantastic start here to this game, but 2 kills already on the board for our leaders and looking pretty good for them. God is going to be moving around the lumber mill side here. They still need to transition across to the other side, so there's still a lot of work to be done here. But they do have the Brazilian squad of Loud also moving in from that side here. They might be able to catch some of the trailing players, and it looks like they've here. They're opening up, Yo-Yo going down here, and now it looks like that's going to be the first blood of this engagement.
Jared immediately snaps the trigger at him. How scary is that? As we see members of LGDS, they are dropping flat on the ground. So great head start. Now looking for Angu as well. They are charging at them with all 3 members. And there goes Angu down on their knees. Well, might just bring the pants to actually finish him up. But wow, Loud makes a statement. Loud and clear.
Angu being left for dead right there as ETA did run across the bridge in the sports car, but now we're having the players coming here from Dranix trying to fend off this push coming up from Infinity YT right now, and this looks like they're getting spotted out, but now it looks like Samurai also getting fired upon here by Flash, and it looks like it's going to be a first kill in this fight as well, as actually he was a little bit all by himself as the Samurai player going to be a bit far away from home.
Really unfortunate there that car is catching on fire. ETA instantly gets shot from above, and my LGDS first team to fall. And there goes the Chinese Taipei side, who had such a good run in the first 2 games. Now they fall flat, and looking at INF, they are having themselves a little bit more danger coming from the side of Dranix.
Shadio here getting spotted out here. He's actually got nowhere to run, as currently Dranix here is starting to put pressure on him, but he's actually making a dash at the right timing here, and his teammates able to put some return fire, and now Dranix is going to be a little bit damaged here, but it's a little bit narrow between these 2 teams, and they don't really need to force the issue here. They're in the center of the zone. I don't really think that it's going to be worth their while right now, but hey, if you're going to be able to deal some chip damage, then why not? Still got some other teams moving in from the outside of the zone, and with all the previous advancement from all these other teams, Infinity Esport Mobile here is going to be in a decent spot to get in unscathed.
Yeah, well, all is very love and war, and we're looking at that sort of M4 sprays coming from across both ends. This is going to be Nazarov, of course, still taking a little bit of that sneaky peeks. Well, not too sure whether she should still commit to this, because this is still relatively early into the matchup. None of these teams really want to actually give themselves away. But Ninja, we talked about that previous game there inside Bermuda where he actually outlasted so many others. And we know that he can pull off a sick clutch. Braddock, though. Braddock slowly able to heal as well. There's going to be some teams inside the middle of Brasilia, but they do not know where you're at right now. So, GJ having Rade on the scout, he's going to be pulling off a couple of all that sort of triggers if there will be a couple of all these members of course coming right in. But looking at SMR, they're definitely going to be gatekeeping this corner of the moat house.
Yeah, Samurai just hunkering down right now. Corinthians going to have to go through this compound and explore a little bit here, see whether or not there's going to be any impending threat here. But so far, there's been nothing to indicate the players are going to be there. But now it looks like they spotted them out here, as now they are starting to toss in some nades here. They could execute onto this building here in quick fashion here if they so choose to. But I think they're trying to gather a little bit more information. Currently, it is still very difficult to push up here. There is going to be some mines waiting here for the unsuspecting Brazilian players, but I think they're going to be a little bit wary of this here. They're actually going to be withdrawing a little bit towards the southern side here, not wanting to get into too much altercation if they can avoid it.
Well, definitely going to avoid a little bit of that sort of contest, but now they do get some angles straight towards the side of Alex. Alex 18 soaks in at least a bullet, but Fixa is just round the corner, and DRNX here just slowly bring out a little bit of that blue wall. That's going to be the code up for snaps, but now fixate your eyes on something else as we see Blau joining in the fray as well. It's a 3-way party at the top side as we see the first one to fall and beyond might just be the next on the topping block. My oh my, Loud is going for the invades and they are now getting flanked instead.
Loud doing some work here. There's only one player left here from Dranex. They could be eliminated here, but now it's going to be Infinity YT moving in to try and take advantage of the situation here. But it does look like there's still one player from Dranex. He's trying to run out, and he's going to get taken down. And now it's going to be left with 2 squads in this fight, as now Loud is trying to get up all their players here, as Infinity YT trying to take advantage. They are starting to move in here, get some good angles, see if they can toss in a nade or two here. But now it does look like Samurai here under a lot of pressure here from Corinthians, as now it does look like they have managed to take over one of the buildings, but now Samurai is starting to congregate in that one building right now. They are starting to move in. They are going to be pressured here by Corinthians. Currently, Blue Wall still blocking the stairway right now, but they are going to move all the way up.
Here comes some nades going on the lower side of the floor as well. Might just actually connect and knocks off all these members of Corinthians out. There we go. One member already on his knees. As we see a little bit of a blow going in as well. Corinthians, they were trying to flush them out. And here comes the flashbang heading on towards the side of Nobru, just blinding him for a little bit more. Ragnar healing himself out in the midst of this battle, trying to make sure that they did not drop out. There it goes, a little bit more taps as we see a little bit of that pressure coming from the outside. One more nade does not land, and that glue wall is going to block them from approaching the top side.
Right now, utility being expanded here, but the glue wall misses here, and now the Corinthian players are moving up here. They're able to take one down. They are going to be taking down one more, but not before. They take 2 of their own, and now this looks like Corinthians going to be taking the fight here. The other 2 able to do the work right now.
In convincing fashion, they flush out the Samurais, but Illuminate has just arrived. Eaton taking things where they left off. Level Up is going to be looking up upon the hill, and now getting shot down as well. Can fix it as well as Jeppa. Give him a little bit of that support as Lau is getting a little bit of that friendly nade across. That's going to be a little bit of blunder, but now Luffy cutting from the back as well. That AK is trying to lock over on the targets here. Spots out Jeppa coming across, and now Illuminate having D Long trying to actually get himself into a position, flanking from the left side as well. Jeppa already spot out some movements, but Level Up, they are fleeing from the house.
Right now, I think this withdrawal here for Corinthians is going to do work, but now Loud is under pressure here as we got Infinity YT moving in, but it looks like Loud is going to do the work here, eliminate them all. They still got 3 players up, and now looks like we still have Long going to be hanging outside from the compound right now from Corinthians, as the rest of Illuminate are going to continue moving along the top of the hill here. They're going to leave Long there, and now Loud is under pressure from up top here. Justin taking quite a bit of damage. They're going to have to pop the glue wall right now, but it is not a good position here for the Brazilian squad.
Will only hugging by the edge of the tree, having to actually heal up only about 60%. Now going to head into that battle with 200 health once it's all being charged up. Now Illuminate taking a little bit of the sweet time here. They know that this is too much for them. They are trying to get themselves into pole position. Now, here are your top 8, trying to actually snatch this booyah. 3 kills already in the hands of Corinthians, and the score to beat right now is a total of 10 kills. And last we saw, Infinity definitely dominated all of that skirmishes that they let themselves in. Scar on the hands of Fixer already getting a couple of taps through, and Justin managed to actually strafe through it. And here comes the rest of the members of DNP getting 1 kill in hand, trying to actually get 1 more. Luffy with a nade will be able to scout out, level up as well as Jeppa. And now, there we go. SCCP is out of the game.
And it's going to be Illuminate to lay the smackdown onto the Corinthian squad here, and they get eliminated here. Now, it does look like Flash is putting pressure on the other Brazilian team here of Loud. Currently, again, on the low ground here. DNP taking quite a bit of damage. Oh, only 1 HP left remaining in that fight.
1 HP? Are you even kidding me? He is not down yet, and he would not be actually getting all too much of a fun time from that edge of that hill. But look at Portrito here. Portrito has been actually playing out of his mind. He does have the Groza, one of the highest damaging ARs on the arsenal for CHR to utilize. Here comes Clear. Flash, they have already secured 5, and they're trying to take down the tie squad.
And right now, they're trying to move in here. They're on the edge of the zone here. But right now, FL has got their attention split here with Loud as well, moving up on the lower ground. But Illuminate in a difficult spot. They only have blue walls to try and work with right now, as the rest rest of FL putting up those long-range shots. Lucky taking quite a bit of fire himself. Bornaya has at least moved all the way to that northeastern side of the new zone as they have their sights set on that superior positioning that we talk so much about.
Illuminate came so close, exposing a little bit of pixels, getting themselves in danger. Zamaro also wants to butt in. He's going to be managing that sort of knock onto Fluffy as well as Justin and Kamarov. Wow, from this distance on that red dot, Zamaro pulling it from below. How is this even possible? And this is why I call them the pros of pros.
Right now, looking at things here for Illuminate, it's not looking good. They only have one player left, and he gets taken out there by Clear, and it looks like that's going to be it for the Thai squad. After they took that convincing fight against Corinthians, it wasn't meant to be for them to last into these later stages. But now it looks like we'll see how the other Brazilian squad is still alive on the lower ground.
Well, we saw the attack team happening over the top side here, but CHR, of course, holding body edge as well. So they are still in the lead of the top 5. Kamarov holding on that AWM. One shot, one kill potential. Novamzade getting better position, but will fall into top 5. So Kamarov here trying to actually find a way to actually get himself safe across. Naruto will be able to clip some of all these guys as they leave that vicinity. And CHR now on that sort of disadvantage.
Getting completely sandwiched here. Infinity Esport on the high ground here. Going to continue to put pressure. There's not a lot of cover left here, but they are going to take 2 hits themselves as they're taking all that fire from Spornai. Spornai also trying to deal with Flash right now as the Vietnamese squad really putting the pressure onto them. There's absolutely no space for them to maneuver here, and they're trying to lay the smackdown here and finish them off, and it doesn't look good for the Russian squad.
Chaos all over Bermuda as we're looking at Justin here. Coming in with those sort of spray coming from that Scar. Already 4 hills in the back as we are seeing Infinity here. Already securing 6. Now, if they do take out the squad, it might just be 10. Clear gets knocked, and here comes Lau. Lau from below, sending death from above. It's going to be DMP. The next one to fall. He's only down to his pistols, but Naruto here, coming from Infinity Mobile, will be on their 8th streak.
And Loud, when you thought that they were really going to lay the smackdown on Flash, they come out with some shots from Infinity Esport. But now look at the daring rotation.
Oh, that vehicle flies up in the air, then charging right through. Loud going down. This is your top 3 as Jetson tries to secure this game in style. Minnow just hugging by the corners of the glue wall. They do know where they're at. The Jetson gets punished for that sort of approach, and CHR holding them back. Carlos' turn to actually make a move, and now they do spot him out. But Zamaro, the Invincible, are doing it, and now in the top 3 once again. The Russians are not giving this one up, and Carlos.
And that's going to be it for Sportnaya, the last player left. But now there's still going to be one more player here from Flash, but it's going to be a 2-on-1 situation right now. But it's going to be Infinity Esport Mobile coming up big here, able to get their first booyah, 13 kills on the board.
Look at how happy they are. We just saw that video highlighting this team who played with 200 to 300 ping and mine. Call it practice or what, when you give them the smoother of the runs, they will make sure that they clinch this title to get this booyah and perhaps the championship round. And wow, we have already made it to the halfway mark, and things